Hello. Okay, mic check. My mic looks good. Discord should also be good, hopefully. When the student gets on, just let me know if the music is too loud, and make sure the student's volume is about as loud as me, probably.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me? Test 1 2, test 1 2. Test 1 2, test 1 2. Can you hear me? I can hear
Just
you.
very quiet. I don't know if it's me or you.
Well, I can hear you.
Let me try a different program.
Okay. Voice and video. Input. Yeah, my input's good.
Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. I think we're good now.
Okay. Just 1 second. I gotta fix the recording output directory. I had to buy a new hard drive because mine filled up.
I guess that means you're doing a lot of
Oh
content
yeah,
at least.
yeah. It means work is good, but also I gotta upgrade software or hardware.
Yeah.
Okay, how do I do this? Okay, I did not expect this not to work when I opened OBS. I thought that would just work like it always does. General output. Okay. Why can I not select it? Okay. We will. This should still be okay. I will just not be able to get the full screen capture. I'll have to get the string capture instead, which is annoying. Because apparently I can't toggle these. I don't know. I'll have to figure this out later. I don't want to take up lesson time for this. Okay. Let's see. Last time we talked, the homework was 20 games, 20 nets, 20 ladders, 1 new Joseki, and 1 middle game idea.
It's a Tanuki or something.
Yeah. So find 5 Tanukis in the middle game and try out 1 new Joseki. Were you able to do this?
Yeah.
Okay. How did it go?
Well, Tanuki was pretty rough. Um, I sometimes left things unfinished.
Hmm.
Um, for example, I don't have the exact games now. It's been a while, but I would be like pushing, and then I don't know when I can stop pushing,
Okay.
basically.
Do you have an example
And
of that?
sometimes yeah, I don't have it with me, but I only I don't have the exact game.
Okay.
It was a while ago now, but that the theme for me is like when I can stop, when to start pushing and when to stop pushing.
Okay.
I know like the idioms, like the three, um, is probably not good to stop, but four is fine. Um, I think I only tried it for maybe a couple games. I don't think I'm mostly still trying to make the judgment call.
Okay. So when you have questions like these, it is very helpful if you could save the SGF file so we can analyze it together. Um, so just glancing through, it looks like this one has some sort of wall. I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about exactly, but we can start with that. Um, did you find the Go problems helpful, and what new Joseki did you pick?
Um, the problems I just mostly did them for repetition.
Okay.
I kind of stopped doing problems to play more games actually, so in the past couple weeks.
Mhm.
Um, but I try to do problems that take less than like 30 seconds,
Mhm.
um, instead of like the ones you have to spend forever.
Yeah. You should be
And
able to do probably 20 to 40 problems in like 5 minutes.
oh, okay.
You don't need to do like the super hard ones. The ones where you're trying to find the answer and it takes you a minute, but you have to like go through all the options and stuff like that, that improves your like deep reading. But honestly, you don't really need that to get to Dawn. And even then, Dawn players don't really need it unless they're competing in tournaments. Um, so when we are trying to learn Go, there are some things we have to skip because we can't dedicate 8 hours a day to our game. So ideally, you'd be able to do both, but since we don't have a lot of time, we need to just pick something. And I think picking the like 20 problems in 5 minutes is more efficient than developing our deep reading, since just playing more games is better, and usually playing more games equals lower time settings. So I think even if it's just 5 minutes a day, or maybe 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening, I think it's still very helpful. But it also is very important that you do them every day, because Go problems are kind of like interest that don't really do much in the short term, but in the long term, it's compounding. So it's really, really helpful. But you don't have to do a lot. Even if it's just one Go problem a day, the habit is really, really helpful. So yeah, if you can just take like 5 minutes, then that can count as your Go problems. So you don't have to you don't have to spend like hours doing Go problems.
I'm messing with my settings right now.
If
I'm
it's
having trouble bringing back the video feed. Oh, I see it
if
now.
it gets blurry, it's Discord, and I'd have to toggle every single time it goes blurry. So
Oh, okay. My bad.
it's
All right.
it's it's not you, it's not me. It is Discord. So I'm
Okay.
gonna
All
have
right.
to come up with a solution. But right now, I'm just mad at Discord. That's all it is.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start with this first game. Ooh, looks like you did. You take any notes? Doesn't look like it.
All right.
Okay. You are white. Okay. Why high?
I can apply more pressure on the black group by being closer to the center.
Mm.
But
There's a couple way to think about this, but first off, you said this is putting pressure on the group, but this is not a group that we can really pressure. So let's compare it to, let's say, here. This looks a lot more pressure, right? Because there's a one space on both sides. But like this, black has a move here, and a move here. So black has several ways to be okay. No, kill. We don't want to think kill like at all. We want to take. We want to think profit. So the idea of the fourth line is typically to develop, but you're also correct. It can be used to pressure something, but I don't think this is something that we can easily pressure. So I wouldn't even bother with fourth line. I would just go third line. Now to your other question, why are we responding? So we get pincered if we don't, and we can't really make an effective base. We could play here and then make some iSpace. So it's actually not impossible to play this way. You could also attach right here. That's an interesting thing. I haven't actually read that with the 2-space, but it is possible. But according to Clossius approach, we just want to defend. So I think here or even here, like the idea is like I want to settle and move on. But settle is third line. Fourth line is development or attacking. And so you had the correct move for what you were trying to do, but I think black's too easily defendable to put pressure. Let's just go here. That looks better. It's a lot of points in the corner, but I really don't like this move. Maybe it's okay because you technically have that. So maybe it's okay. I don't know. It's a very interesting position. Typically the stone's here, so you just go for the base. So it's a lot of interesting variations. Tanuki, huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So right. So what is a yeah. What does a base mean to you? What do you think a base is?
Extension, but
So you think it's iSpace? Is this a base? Okay, is this a base? I'm going to say no. My definition of a base is efficient iSpace. So in the Clossius approach, it's make a base, run away, iSpace, vital point. Okay? So notice that step 3 is iSpace. So in my mind, it is efficient iSpace, run away, iSpace, vital point. So that is how I do it. So yes. In my mind it is. That's how I define it. So we're thinking At what point can we Tanuki? And this is actually a tricky question because you can Tanuki a lot. It'd still be okay. Now, the Clossius approach talks to us about the basics. So my job is to teach you the fundamentals, and then you can work on your own to find the exceptions. So fundamentally, we do not want to Tanuki a group that does not have a base because it can be bullied. It can be forcing moves can be played against it such that your opponent can profit in Sente. Now, the profit needs to be big enough to matter for the Tanuki, but typically we just want to make sure that we don't get bullied. So in the local area, if we ignore, this slide is quite nice. So even if we are alive, let's just throw a stone right here, right? Even if we are alive, we cannot fight in this center quadrant at all. Because the moment any sort of fight breaks out, we very well might get in a lot of trouble. Because imagine Black gets 2 moves here. All of a sudden, our group looks really weak. And the reason we say 2 moves is imagine we're in a fight and Black gets 5 while attacking something else and then comes back and plays 7. We don't want to have to pay tax in the future. We don't want to have to deal with this if a fight shows up in the future. So, in a general sense, you could say, do I want to fight in this area? And if I do, and my opponent gets the first move, will I be able to fight in this area comfortably? So that's another way to think about it. So it's not something that we can say is super easy to answer, but in my mind, this would not have a base. I think White could use another move. Yep. Mm-hmm. G3. I would play here. This is, to me, this is better than G3 because G3 has that annoying spot. Now, this is also kind of slow though. So, but technically slow works. If it's slow, we can get to Dawn with slow. We just can't get to 7 Dawn with slow, but we can get to Dawn level with slow as long as it does its job. Now, at single digit Q, we want to start training ourselves to look for better ways to do it, and if we can't find it, be okay with a slow move. Because doing the job is more important than anything else. Not doing the job is why we die. Okay? So this to me is acceptable at 6Q. If we can, I would like to find some other way to do it though. So like if I can get this sequence off, that would be ideal in my mind. Because now I'm alive and I damage Black a little bit. So this to me is much more valuable. But then I also have to say, will my opponent ignore? And if they do, is this fight acceptable? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Like this is where reading comes in, right? You could also think to attach right here. That is another one. Then we have to read these cutting points. So there's a lot of reading involved. So if you ask me what the very easy answer is, I'm going to say here. Here or here. This one also has eye space. So I'm going to say A or B are perfectly acceptable. And if you do anything else, then you have to have read it out. Does that make sense? No. Okay, so this is a strategy. I don't want to say tactic, because tactics are usually Tsuji. But the purpose of this is if I unsettle you, I can defend myself in Sente. Because if you're unsettled, every move I do attacks you. This is not bad. However, this is typically used to help us run away. Because if I don't have a base and I choose to run away, now my run away move is attacking you. But if I'm trying to make a base, this doesn't exactly attack the number 2 stone. So this is not bad, but if I do this, make a base, then I can counterattack here or here. Does that make sense? So I would, in my mind, typically this is to support running away rather than making a base or ice base. But yeah, no, like I like the idea. You're trying to utilize the weakness to save yourself in Sente, and then you're just learning different ways of doing it. As long as you understand the concept of I don't have a base, and so I should do something, then we can talk about the best way to do it. But right now, you Tanuki, and I know we're working on Tanuki timings, and it's not something that's easy to answer, but technically, in the Clossius approach, this would not be the move. Now, I do want to emphasize that Clossy approach is not the only way to play, but the Clossy approach is kind of the basic fundamentals. Okay, it's fine. That's terrible. Just fix. This is really nice. I'm not sure. I think I want to just fix. Because I just don't want this Aji right here. I don't care about it. Can you do this first, though? I don't think so, right? I don't know. I want to say just fix, because if they do this, then I can make a pretty nice base. Right, this is really helpful to you. But okay. You are not cuttable. You're making ice base, so you did your job. It's okay. Not a big deal. Okay, they go here. Okay, so what is your thought here? What do you think about?
Play is my basic reaction.
Mhm. But why is it an overplay?
Well, it's like I think it's too early to play any vital points, because I'm not surrounded, and so well, this would be probably a good move if I was surrounded.
Mhm.
And it's really weak because it's a very low stone, and it's already halfway surrounded.
So what moves are you thinking about?
Well, yeah, I don't want to connect, so I was thinking. I think I played S5.
Wait, you just said you don't want to connect, but you
I don't
played
want to
S5.
connect directly, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, so
I just want.
you didn't want to fix the cut with the connection, but you do want to fix the cut.
Yes.
Okay, I understand. Okay. You immediately changed your mind. If you want to do that, why not just do it now? So I'm trying to establish. Do you remember where your mind was in this game? What are you thinking about, like during the game? Not now, but like before. Do you remember?
Unfortunately, I do not remember.
Okay. Because to me, this looks like, hey, I'm making sure I don't get cut. And then you immediately change your mind and say, hey, I want life in the corner. I don't care if I get cut. So in attack and defense, I'm a big fan of staying connected. Now, you said you didn't like this one. Both of these are connected, so I don't really care which one. There's 3 ways to connect, actually.
Yeah.
But you said you didn't like this one. I'm assuming because this doesn't look good to you?
It's just an empty triangle.
That's not a good reason. So, what makes an empty triangle bad? Do you know?
It's you're not getting that. Like it's the shape doesn't give you the most amount of liberties for
Right.
the amount of stones you place.
It has bad eye shape and it has bad liberties. You're correct. How is that not an empty triangle, though?
Well, now, yeah, well, yeah. So I ended up creating. How do I describe this? I felt that like like black was making me connect, and I wanted to make. I didn't want to be responding to it so directly. I just wanted to squeeze a little more.
Yeah, but remember, your goal is to just play defense right now, yeah?
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm thinking if black actually pushes in, I could probably kill black. Or
Okay. But
Yeah.
if your goal is I want to play defense, part of which
Yeah.
is I don't want to get cut, and your opponent's telling you to connect, you're not going to protect your cut because that's what they want you to do? What if they want you to win the game? Are you not going to do it? If your opponent forces you to play the correct move, then just play the correct move. Right? It's okay. Now, the question is it the correct move to fix? I want to say yeah. I don't like getting cut. I'm a big fan of staying connected. So I actually don't hate getting cut here. I don't hate connecting here, sorry. I don't hate this one either. This one is interesting as well, but I think this one's my least favorite. Yeah. I think this would probably be acceptable on some level. Maybe, maybe not. This is where reading comes in. Okay, I can't answer this in 2 seconds, so we're just going to move on from that. No,
Yes.
I don't think this is bad, because if they take the eye, you get to squeeze the crap out of these 3 stones, or these 2 stones. I don't think it's bad at all. You really don't want to fix that cut. Okay, so let's see. If I go here, and I go here. No, this is just bad for you. There's no way this is good for you, right? There, but there. So what about? Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, let's see what the game is. There. Okay. This is all fine up until you die. Okay, once you die, then you have to connect. Okay. Wait. As long as you don't die.
Oh yeah, just this one I remembered I completely misread here. Luckily, Black didn't play that movie there. Yeah.
Yep.
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 I saw it immediately, and I was like, "Oh, please don't do it."
Okay. This is kind of what I see a lot of. At Single Digit Q, we really just we hate doing simple things. We always want to be the most complicated way, but then one mistake and everything dies. That's how we instant lose the game. If you just connect, is there a way you instantly lose the game? What do they do that? Does this instant lose the game?
No, but
Right.
it feels like Black got too. Black seems. They seem to have came. I don't know why, but it feels like Black came ahead in this. Overall, it's
Okay.
hard. Well, no one would call this a Joseki, but considering Black just had 1 stone and I approached, and somehow Black got both sides, and I got a pretty small corner. I'm not sure. I didn't feel this was like a balanced outcome.
Okay. First of all, this was Black's corner. So Black's
Right.
supposed to have a slight better result, but not a huge deal. Second of all, you say Black got a little bit more here. But Black got a lot of bit more here.
For sure, yeah.
Right. So which one do you think is the safer one to play? Oh, hold on. Where did it? I keep losing my branches. Yeah, so let's see. If we use the score estimator, you're up by 1.2. And if we go back right here, you're up by 0.5. So you're not really correct that Black got an advantage. But also, what is the advantage going to be? Like 2 points, 3 points? Is it that big of a deal? We're still in the opening. I think you stress too much about playing the perfect move. I think you just need to play a good move, not the perfect move.
Okay.
So if it's a pretty close result, maybe Black gets 2 points, maybe you get 2 points, who cares? As long as it's close. You're not going to lose the game.
Right.
We're still in the opening. You can't lose the game unless you just die. So if you get yourself in these situations where you really want those 2 points so much that you are giving your opponent a chance to kill you, that's gambling. We don't want to gamble.
Yeah.
Now, if you read all this and you're fine, then that's different. But if you can't read all this, which the result says you couldn't, then you just gambled. And gambling is bad. So we either want to just defend ourselves, and if we want more, sure, but you have to be able to read it. If you can't read it, you can't do it. Okay. So your opponent has played here, which takes your group space. Is your group okay?
No.
Okay.
It's
What is
it's
wrong?
gonna be doing a lot of running.
Yeah. So what is wrong with just playing defense? Let's say a jump. That's a pretty common one. Yeah, anything. Doesn't matter. Jump, jump. I don't care. What's the worst that could happen?
Black gets another big move.
Okay. Let's
Yeah,
play one
something,
more.
whatever. Yeah.
Let's play one more. What now? What? Black gets another big move.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go through 3, or let's build our framework. Is this game over?
Well, at our level, definitely not.
Right. So I did this several times in the Clossius approach where I just proved a point. I would spend an extra move, give my opponent 2 Tanukis to make sure I'm alive, and show that it's still not that big of a deal. Because we don't need to worry about just a few points. Even if Black gets like 5-point lead, I'm alive. I'm not losing the game by 5 points. I'm losing the game by like resignations or like 30, 40 points. I'm not worried about a 5-point deficit if I can just prevent getting a severe attack. So it's a little bit slow for sure, but I wouldn't stress so much to the point that I'm just leaving a bunch of floating groups laying around. Because now you have this group and you have this group that are unsettled, which means you can't fight here and you can't fight here. If you do, you get double attacked.
Right.
So if you keep leaving groups laying around, then how are you going to fight in the center? Usually, you do not win with big moves. You win with attacking for profit. Big moves are to set up attacks. Mm-hmm. So if I prevent the attack and my opponent keeps trying to set up future attacks, but they have nothing to attack, then it's not that big of a deal.
I think the other, I guess, I am not as proficient at reducing areas. And so if I give my opponent even an enclosure, I already, or an enclosure and extension, I don't see, like, generally my opponent gets that entire territory because I know it's possible to like invade and reduce and etc. But I am not as good at it, so I have to get in there earlier, basically.
Okay, so are you making a plan because you don't know how to do something?
Well, I know I need to prevent. Well, I guess I am playing with the tools I have. Is perhaps
right.
another way
so
to say it.
let's change the order. What if we make their extension happen, so we can learn how to reduce it? Let's make this happen. You're saying when this position happens, I can't handle it. That's a perfect game to get reviewed. Like, make it happen, and then let's go in, and then someone shows you an idea, and then you try that idea the next time it happens. And so let's start with A and B. These are the 2 Clossius approach starting invasions. Okay, 3/3 approach 4th line stone. These are our 2 starting ones. Then at single digit Q, we add on attachments.
Right.
And all of a sudden, we got a ton of options, and then any forcing move to make a combination. All of a sudden, we have a ton of options to work with, right? But you learn these one at a time. But if you never make it happen and you never die to learn, how could you ever learn how to do it? So there's a difference between picking a strategy that you prefer and avoiding a strategy that you don't know how to handle. If you don't know how to handle, if you don't know how to handle it, make it happen and die. Like, it's better to die and learn than to avoid something, as long as it's basic, right? But if you know how to handle it and you're like, I prefer games where I do this, or like, for example, I prefer games where I'm attacking. So I will play lots of extensions and usually let my opponent have some territory so I can set up attacks, right? I much prefer that. But I've also played styles like the points lever where I get a bunch of cash and I just focus on reducing and my opponent attacks me and I just play effective defense and keep my lead, right? There's many ways to do it. You can just pick which one you want, but You need to be able to do both. Sometimes the board changes. Like, you can't control every single game to do what you want to do because your opponent's also a human being trying to do what they want to do. So if you don't know how to handle something, just make it happen. If you're scared of Sanrense, then make your opponent play Sanrense, or you play Sanrense. I don't know. Get a friend, make them play Sanrense against you 100 times. He'll be a lot more comfortable with it. Anything that you fear, make it happen. Those are great games to learn from. Okay, so your opponent is pincered and you 3/3. Okay. I don't like this decision. Because this is...
my decision or Black's?
Your decision.
Okay.
This says, I'm going to give you influence for the territory, right? That's what it says. So you want the cash, in exchange, Black gets the influence. On this board, you have 2 floating groups. I don't think that's a good decision, because this influence is going to be used to attack these 2 groups. So you actually gave your opponent something to attack you with. I think it's probably better just do that. Or... I really hate this jump, but maybe it's okay. I know, I might just go here and then just defend myself and give up like 15 points and make sure I'm alive. And then maybe try to fight to defend myself over here in Sit Day. I just want to start playing defense everywhere, and then I can worry about the big stuff. Mm-hmm. Right here, I can't even think about points right now. Am I missing something? Okay. I mean, okay, whatever, sure. Then just, okay, whatever. That's your opponent, not you. It's fine. Okay, this is a good attack, but remember how I said it's really hard to fight with floating groups? Also, you ignored the corner, which... If I go here, here, you're dead. Okay, but what if I change it to here? No, it's dead. If I go here, it's dead. So I have to let you take my ice, which means you don't have a base yet. Just fix. Now I'm alive. I don't have to worry about this corner.
If I'm already out, like, I wouldn't say I'm technically out, but like 017.
So you're saying run away instead?
Basically. Yeah, is it...
So here's one of my...
Why do I need to... Yeah, why do I need to...
Here's one of my exceptions.
Make the base here?
Okay. Yeah. Running away... I wouldn't call this a super base because it's not the most efficient in the world. But you're correct. Running away rather than making 2 or 3 points is usually the answer. But one of my exceptions is if it's one move and everything's fixed, then just play it. One move, and I do not have to worry about this position ever again. Then just play it.
Okay.
So if it's one move and it fixes all of your problems, now you can fight in this area with no concern. Because your corner is 100% alive. Does that make sense?
Right.
So that is one of my exceptions. If you can just fix everything in one move, just fix it. It's not a huge deal. Uh-oh. This is how we die. It's stuff like this. Mm-hmm. So if I go here, how do you live? Here, 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 here. Here, 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 here. Okay, you are alive, I think. Here, 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 here. Yeah, you're alive. Okay. Just double checking. It's a little close for my comfortability, but okay.
I think I'm starting to... So I'm not reading, as far as you are, so, but I'm probably... This move was me trying to...
Yeah, you can have a sense. So single-digit Qs are really good at sensing Aji because you've learned when things can die. But sensing just tells you where to look. Reading tells you if it works or not. So Sensing is really good because it prevents you from just being caught off guard. However,
I see. Yeah.
if you can read it, you can Tanuki sooner. In other words, the more
Yeah.
you can read, the more moves you get on the board. If you can't read it,
Like
you
the
gotta defend
more
yourself.
correct Tanukis, I guess, because I'm
Yeah,
Tanuking, but
exactly.
incorrectly here.
Right. So when I said look for Tanukis, I mean like you were responding to things that did nothing. Like,
Yeah.
for example, let's say you're alive here, and black goes here. Is this gonna kill you? That's what we would try to
I
solve,
wouldn't
right?
know instantly. Yeah, I would not. But I think I'm alive.
Right. So this is where you would start looking. Okay. So
Yeah.
you're saying you're trying to find 5 of these in the middle game. If I solve this, I get another move. If it can't be solved or I can't solve it, then I have to defend. And that's fine. Defend if you have to defend. But if you read and you can find a solution, you get to Tanuki. Maybe it's here or whatever, right? The point is, actually, whatever. The point is, that's what you're looking for is opportunities where their move does nothing. If their move is taking your base, it's not doing nothing. That's not a Tanuki timing. A Tanuki timing is where they're threatening something that does not work. Another one that's really obvious is if I go here and black goes here, I don't have to defend that. I'm alive. So that would be another one. It's 1 point in Sente for black, but it's not that big of a deal. So that one's a really obvious one. A lot of the times it won't be as obvious, but that's what you're training your eyes to see is your opponent's nothing moves. Here, if you could read that you're alive, then you can ignore. And if you are not alive, you got to defend. And that's what we're looking for. That's what we're reading a lot of is those Tanuki timings. Okay. Why here? Why do you need to peep?
So it's always annoying when someone else does it to me, so I just want it to be annoying.
The habit I try to tell my students to build is Sente moves are bad. If it doesn't support a goal, then you are playing Ajikeshi, which means you're fixing your opponent's Aji. So you need to establish what do you want to happen in this area, and does this peep help that? Now, on this board, the peep is okay because we're making sure that black's not got amazing shape. And there's likely never going to be any sort of Tsuji here. Probably. So the peep doesn't kill too much Aji, but how do we possibly know that at 6 here? How do we know that there's never going to be a Tsuji here? How do we know that we're never going to need these Ataris? I just don't think it's possible. So I really want to discourage peeps if they do not support the goal of the turn.
Okay.
Yep.
Like,
Okay.
even if it's, I guess can it only help me if, in the sense, like I get a helper Whitestone, and black is already really strong anyways.
In theory, yes. Like I just said, if you know that there's never going to be a Tsuji or a squeeze or anything right here, then yeah, it's fine. You're making a good exchange. But if you don't know that there's never going to be Ataris right here that will help this weak group, who knows, right? If you don't know that there's never going to be useful Aji here, then you're playing Ajikeshi. You have to know that there's never going to be any useful Aji. Then you can peep.
Okay.
So if black goes here, you have 3 weak groups now. This is a non-basic position, so it's really difficult to handle. Trying to connect is a very good idea. Well, that's very convenient. We're connected now. How nice. All right, so you're cutting here. So let's ask for a second. Why is the cut good? Is it good? Is it bad? If so, why?
You're talking about B3?
Yeah.
Well, I just don't. I want to force that lower group to live. And I just don't want them to get a big corner as well. Well, it's
Okay.
not big, but it just I know from an end game
Doesn't
perspective,
this
there's a lot of points
do?
when you
Doesn't
connect.
do that as well?
Yeah, I think I play that exact sequence later. I just
Okay. So it looks like we
maybe
have
it's
two
a
options.
question of ordering.
Yeah, it looks like we have two options. So the question is, do I want black to live over here? Like maybe this? Or do I want black to... Let's assume this was Gote. Do I want black to live over here? So typically when there's two attacks, you just say, which one do I want black to have? And give them that one. So the concept here is don't play things by default. Try to always have a reason for your moves. Because this is a type of thing that I see a lot at single digit queue. You'll just play this without even thinking about it. And you sometimes, and very often, will actually miss a chance move because you're just playing it out by default without even thinking. Okay, this is good. My radio key went out again. Ah. Okay. My right arrow key. Okay. There. Yep. Here. Did you read this?
No, because I well, I thought so this happens to me a lot where I I misread and then something and I'm like,
okay,
yeah.
Did you misread or did you glance read?
So what I think happens is like I think I read it at one point and then I didn't like account for the fact that I had one less liberty because of A3 and I continue playing as if the position of the board was in a previous state.
Oh, so you read it back here. You read the clamp.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Exactly. And then I cached or whatever, I saved that information because if I read from scratch every time, I would never, it would take me like years to play a game. So and then I immediately was like, oh.
Yeah, technically we are supposed to do that. We're just supposed to do it more quickly. We're supposed to we're supposed to update our reading every single time a stone is played. And then we do go problems to do that really, really fast. Now, here's the issue. What you said is definitely a challenge, but this is only 2 moves deep. This shouldn't be something you can't reread. It should be something you notice. So this is going to be go problems. Because you didn't notice that the second move is going to be an Atari. If it was 5 moves, it's a lot more understandable. But if it's only 2 moves, then that's not really something that you can just let happen. We just have to not do this at 6Q. So a lot of 3Q to 1 Dawn is all about just looking before you play. So we can start that early. It's probably still difficult to even read a few moves at this point. But 3Q to 1 Dawn is literally just if I play A and 1, 2, 3, 4, if I don't like this result, then let's play this. That right there is the difference between 3Q and 1 Dawn. Don't glance read. Read. Now, it starts out slow. You're going to do it slowly, but the more you do it, the faster you'll get. And I'm not telling you to read like 5, 10, 15 moves deep. I'm just telling you to read like 3 moves, 4 moves. If you can read 4 moves accurately, you're a Dawn player. It's just you have to read 4 moves every single turn. You don't need a lot. You just need to make sure you're not going to die in 2 moves. So this is a really bad exchange. I would really love to get that, but I feel like that's optimistic. Because I feel like black might just counter. So the question is, can I stop this before it happens? And maybe your move does. We're getting into Dawn territory. Because now I can cut this off, and if they don't, then I could come back and save these in the future. So, okay, we're getting into dot territory. I'm sorry. I really wanted to make your move work, though. Yep. Did you need this move?
Yeah, so these are kind of moves that like so okay, let me how to describe this. So I think it's a good exchange. The reason is because like black has to respond and it keeps I'm just a little that E4 cut. I just wanted to be super solid, basically.
Are you cuttable? So that's a very
Yeah.
important thing to know.
Right. So
Okay, so we've answered that question. All right, now let's go back here.
yeah.
We are not cuttable. We know for sure. We have red.
But at the turn at D5, if black turns first, then it would be sort of black would get. To me, this feels like double sente, right? Like if I take D5 first, black has to respond. If I Tanuki and then black turns first at D5,
okay,
then I'm forced to connect and black has a slightly better position.
Locally, right? So black gets 1 point versus you get 1 point, right? But what if I do nothing? So this one's a big one. This one's a big one. Like, we got to think, what is the purpose here? So if you can fix your shape, so you're saying I'm preventing the turn in Sente. That is your statement. I think that's a good reason. I think that's a good reason. I just don't want you playing this automatically. That's my big issue, is if you play it automatically.
Yeah,
so
and the other way I'm looking at it is I'm using I'm trying to use my B5 stone. Like I get one more, I squeeze one more thing out of it.
Okay, but what if you had a Tsuji here later? B5 is Aji. Okay?
Yeah.
You don't have to use Aji immediately. Now, what you said was I did this to prevent the turn to fix myself in Sente. That's a good reason. But typically what I see is kind of like the top right, you just played a move just to play it. So you're killing the Aji for that to prevent that turn, so we have to think, is that worth it or not? I just don't want you playing those automatically.
Okay.
Okay, so now you're attacking. You're unsettling black while also defending yourself. That is pretty good. Now you cap. All right. Now this is looking really good. Wait, whoa. Surround. Step 2. Why is this bad? I don't understand why this is bad. What do you not like about it? If you say the word kill.
It's more like I thought I still had a good surround on, so I didn't need to play one. But I think black will, I can't remember this game, but perhaps black leaks later.
There's this. There's this. There's that. Lots of reading things. If black breaks out, you have a weak group. But if you keep black in, you basically connect and don't have a weak group in Sente. That feels kind of nice to me. Oh, crap. Fudge. Okay, so black goes, you go. Black cuts, Yunobi. Yep. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Clossy fortune teller. And you ran with the Knight's move. Oh boy. Someone hasn't been watching my streams. Running with the Knight's move. Probably not. This group just dies, doesn't it? Or did you just die?
I let it. I exchange it.
No. It is not a sacrifice if you came up with it after you were dead. That is not how this works. If you go here and you said I'm sacrificing it, sure. Might not be a good might not be good, but at least that is the choice. If you decide it after here, that's not a sacrifice. That is an excuse. That's you trying to justify your mistake.
Yeah. So I think the night I'm already around here, I know I can't do much. So I think around here I decide to exchange.
Well, yeah, you have to give it up, but that's not an exchange. Yeah. That is not how it works. You made a mistake. Like that's a really big blunder.
Yeah.
So basically, this is totally not worth it. If you just be strong, the game is so much easier. Because this is Sente. Right? I think it's Sente. Yeah, that's looking pretty Sente. But there's no risk of you dying versus you just tried to trap and kill black and died for it. This is what loses you games instantly. This is what the number one thing in Clossius approach is, like, get to the end of the game without dying. It's the first lesson of Clossius approach. So you've made the best of the bad, that's true. But the lesson is you shouldn't have died. There was no reason for you to die there. Which means you got greedy trying to kill, or you just didn't notice you were weak, but there was a mistake that was made. Ooh, nice Tanuki.
Yes, I agree. I didn't. Yeah.
This one is a nice Tanuki. This is kind of what you're looking for. It's only 2 stones, so why do you care? And you played a big move. I really like this Tanuki. The 2 stones are not cutting stones, so yeah.
Yeah.
That's technically the wrong shape. You're supposed to jump back from that shoulder hit. That builds this area. If you want to build the top side, then just shoulder hit here. Okay. So let's go look at another game.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
I don't really care about a 4Q. I want to see what makes you lose to like a 7Q or something. I don't care about a 1 dot either. So that's the one we just reviewed, right? The 6Q? 4Q. Here we go. Here's a 7Q. Here's a 7Q by resignation. And this was 7 days ago, so yeah, it's still recent. No undo, no question mark. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen that since KGS. That's funny. Okay, review this game. Da da dum dum. Da dum. You're blind. Da da. Da dum. Da dum. Doop. Doop. Okay. Okay. Why not try to connect? Is this bad? Yes or no?
It's good. Black's Q6 seems something will be cut.
Okay. So you're saying I can't do this because of that, right?
Yeah.
Because this one's very obvious. Okay. Whatever, go here. Can I do it now?
This seems to work.
The point here is I'm trying to connect. Defense first.
Yeah.
This this one looks like you are trying to stop this or something, or cut or something. It doesn't look like you're trying to connect at all. So in my mind, I don't think you're playing defense first.
I think at this point I am making sure black doesn't connect.
Yeah, no, screw that. Like, S9 was a Sabaki stone. This is to utilize that stone to make life quickly. Like, that's kind of the point of it. The moment you try to save it is when you invest. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't save it ever. I'm trying to say focus on one weak group at a time. So if you go here saying, I'm going to attack black, well, now you have 2 weak groups, which is difficult to handle. But if you just say, I'm going to survive, then you can come up with like this idea and make maybe A or B Mii, right? You know, you can start just thinking of ways to play defense. And then once you start thinking of ways to play defense, you can try to get more creative and try to defend at Sete or whatever. But all of it is defense and just doing it more and more effectively. But if you are skipping defense, this is how things die. What is happening? Why? Okay, I would just like kill the stuff. Okay, now I'm fine. I don't really care. How could I possibly die now? And you do what? There? Okay, I don't care. Maybe I just run away, or I can actually just take quick life. See, I'm alive everywhere, and I'm getting a big move first. Who knows, right? All you have to do is focus on defense, then you can think about the big move. Oh, boy. You're going to do this when there's a stone at G3? Nice moves are cuttable. So what is your plan if I try to cut you? Oh, I didn't notice. You did actually play my move. Awesome. Good job. I thought that was just playing out a branch, but that was your move. You got cut. And now you have another weak group. Whoa. What? Have you solved this corner? Do you have a plan for not dying? You are completely surrounded. This is a life and death problem. Do you have a plan to not be dead?
As long as I can kill black first, right?
Yeah, you said that K word. You can't say that K word. This is a Clossius stream. It's a banned word. No saying kill in Clossius stream. Let your opponent kill themselves. You can't kill anything. Don't kill anything. Your opponents are better at killing themselves than you are. You just live and let them let them kill themselves. If you
Okay, so maybe it's not, I'm not actually like I'm not going for the kill, but if right, like here the reason I play H4 was like if black tries to kill me, I think I would win the capture. It seems like that one seems like I would win the capture race.
Okay, but you're not wrong. You can threaten to do stuff before defending yourself if you've read it out. My point is, do you win this capture race still? Like, you're playing a lot of moves, and this corner does not have 2 eyes. So at what point are you going to come back and live? Because if it dies, you're wrong. It cannot die. You cannot let that corner die. You're getting 2 more weak groups, and the corner's still not alive. What is happening? What? I swear if black dies, I will be furious. This does not work. That's not how this works. Okay, now you've died like everywhere. And you still aren't going to live in the corner. So, all of this came about. 2 dead groups, almost 1.5 dead. I don't know. A lot of bad things have happened to the Whitestones, all because you thought it was too slow to just make life.
Yeah, and specifically, I also want to keep black separated.
Yeah, but like you died, so let's just focus on not dying part. Like, let's do that first, right? Yeah, it's not the pro move, but it is the I don't want to die at 6Q move, right? So it doesn't die. That's step 1. Don't die. If you do anything else, and you're like, I want to do this extra thing, but you die, then just don't do the extra thing, because it's losing you games. If you're trying to play the pro move, but you lose the game, then don't play the pro move. right? So if you want to cut your opponent, sure. But if you're not alive and you just played a knight's move to do it, do you have a plan to counter the countercut? That's the issue, is coming up with a plan is one thing. Blindly trying an idea is another. Don't blindly play plans without any sort of countermeasure to your problems. Defense is the highest priority.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to cut your opponent, how can we defend ourselves while cutting our opponent? Well, if I go here, am I cuttable? Yes. Okay. What if I go here? What if I do this one? How does black connect? Black can't connect. So this one literally does what you want it to do. Black can't connect. It literally cuts black while keeping you alive. It does everything you want to do.
I guess, okay. Like E3 wasn't even in my list of moves. But
Okay.
maybe it's because, yeah. So that's probably why.
Right. You're thinking
didn't play it.
cut.
Yeah.
The cut, when you think cut, you're thinking of these two moves.
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
exactly. Yeah.
I want my ice space. So I'm looking at this, like here. This is where I'm looking.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I'm finding different moves than you because my entire goal is different. Now, I'm all for doing a secondary purpose in addition to what I'm doing. But I'm not going to skip that first important thing, which is defense first. If you can defend yourself while cutting, awesome. If you can defend yourself while doing something else, awesome. But you don't try to do something else and not defend yourself. That's where the common flaws happen. That is what keeps you stuck in like the middle SDK ranks. Just do the job. The DDK move is better than the SDK move if the SDK move dies. That's kind of the thing.
Okay.
So you got to single digit Q by not dying, so let's not die. And then just try to not die more efficiently. You know, all of this bad stuff happened because you thought living was too slow. Like here, you want to try to kill. What if I just live? How do I freaking live with this? Here? Yeah, because that is a net. Yeah. But what about here, 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 here? Oh my gosh, this is so hard to live with. What if I go... Give my arrow back. What if I go here? I can't find a net! Give me a net! Okay, fine. Screw it. Let's just go kill this stone. And if you try to live with this stone, then I'm going to just squeeze and kill that stone. That's the hope. That's the dream. Maybe we can even, like, try to ladder it. There's my net. All of this is coming from I want to defend myself. Okay? Now, you do have to worry about the life and death in the corner. This is absolutely true. So, if I defend myself with something, do I die? I'm going to glance read and say yes, because I don't have the time to actually read that. So,
right.
Defense first, priority is don't die. Okay, so let's go here. Make sure I'm not dead. Maybe black gets one more move. I don't know. Just make sure I don't die. That's all I care about. Just don't die. Okay, now black gets to go attack me here. Okay, next job. Don't die. These 3 stones are about to die. They're cutting stones, so let's live. Okay, now black, let's say, goes here. Well, these stones are going to die. Let's live. And just one thing at a time. Which thing's going to die first? And defend that one. This is how you handle 3 weak groups. It's really annoying, and one mistake and things die. This is why we don't get 3 weak groups. But technically, this is how you handle it, is what's the weakest, defend that one. What's the weakest, defend that one. Use any sort of Aji to do it in Sente if possible. That's how you start fixing things. It's just defense, defense, defense. This, to me, is a huge red flag. I'm like, oh, well, if I'm going to die, then I'm not going to save the 3 stones. Actually, I can just go here. Because that's a double Atari. Hey, look, I'm not dead. Yeah, those die, but who cares? I couldn't save them. If I save them, everything else dies. So I have to just make do with what I can do. This is denial, I think. It's either blitz or denial. I'm not sure which. But obviously you die right here. I think this is a... If I gave this to you as a go problem, you could solve it. Right? If I said... Yeah. So it's not your
gave
skill.
Up those stones there.
No, you die. This is not a give up scenario. If you give up, you get something of equal or greater value. This is not a give them up scenario. It's you just died. So if I gave you this as a go problem, you would solve it probably pretty easily. I mean, this is not a difficult go problem. So the question is, why are you not solving it in the game? What are you thinking about? What are you being distracted by? Are you playing too fast? Because you have the skill, but you're not applying it.
Yeah, and I play 30-second games, and that's not enough.
30 seconds is plenty. Like that's a lie, because I tested this for my students. They said 5 minutes, 30 seconds is not enough time to play. So I used those 30 seconds. I took like 20 to 25 seconds every single move. It took me an hour to play a 5-minute 5:30 game.
Yes.
It took me
50
50
full game takes an hour.
Yeah, the full game.
It's not fast. Yeah. But I'm not fast enough at 30 seconds.
You're not fast enough at solving everything in 30 seconds, but you're also not utilizing the 30 seconds in the 3 previous moves. For example, Atari, here's 20 to 25 seconds. Yeah. Here's 20 to 25 seconds. Here's where you started reading, probably. Does that make sense? You don't need to solve it in 30 seconds. You need to give yourself more time to solve it. Mm-hmm. So 30 seconds does not mean you have to solve in 30 seconds. 30 seconds means you have 30 seconds, and you're supposed to look in advance and solve everything before it happens. That habit is a lot more than 30 seconds, and it's worth probably several ranks. Okay, so those died. Are you still cuttable? Yes, but probably okay. That's a pretty solid wall, though. There's no way that wall ever gets weak. I would just fix. I mean, why not, right? That's the big reason we lose, is because dying, so that really prevents death. Okay, so you're playing a big move. I'm not sure what you're after here, because there's no reason you can't go play a big move. Right? Right? Question mark. Well, then your move didn't defend yourself. If I go here and they go here, then I can just do whatever, right? I don't have to worry about it. Which means you spent a move to defend yourself that didn't defend yourself. Okay. This is fine, I guess, but it feels like endgame. This feels like endgame.
So what's the difference between endgame, and taking away opponent's base net? I agree
if it's Gote or not. If it's Gote or not. That's what I said it feels. I didn't say it is yet. I'm still reading. Okay. I'm still trying to solve if it is or not. If this is Gote, it's endgame. Right. Wait.
Okay, so...
What? No, you're rushing. This is an easy go problem. You rushed too fast. Just go here and then go get the big move. Just don't kill yourself. Right? This is why I said your opponents are better at killing themselves than you are. Like, you could, if you're black, you could never think of a way to kill those 2 stones. But then your opponent does this, and you're like, oh, the 2 stones died, or 3 stones died. Like, your opponent's much better at killing themselves than you are at killing them. They'll kill things that are 100% alive. They'll find a way to kill it. So don't try to kill it. So here, this is doing exactly what you want to punish your opponents for doing, right? Just don't kill yourself. Then you don't instant lose the game. It's a really good strategy, I'm just saying. Not killing yourself is a great way to win the game. Here, you're forcing it to play out instead of just leaving it. I think this is fine, but again, I want you to build the habit of hesitating to play this. This one is not, because why give me the cutting point? Just play here and then move on. Yeah, I want you to really hesitate before you just immediately kill the Haji. Okay, what are we doing here? Is this is not the biggest move, right? It has to be either here or here or here or here. There's something on top. It has to be something on top. It's something up there. Because this is the interesting quadrants, right? This is not that big. Okay. All right, time for the DDK mistakes. We are past move 70. This is where SDKs make the DDK moves. Okay, the turn is good. That was very interesting. And I say that not to be mean, but to make you start thinking about it, because it's a very common point of the game where your brain gets tired. And on the flip side, that also means if you intentionally don't let it get tired, you reset and really double down your focus, your opponent's brain gets tired. And when they get tired, they play moves that are easily punishable. So it's a lot of self-control, but also is really useful when done. What? Right. How are you getting this? Why is this becoming big? This should not be big. It was nothing, and now it's amazing. Oh man. I wonder if this is better, but you might be right. You might be right. How did you get so much? What witchcraft did you do to possess your opponent to let this happen? You can double honey.
Oh yeah, so this is another kind of when can you double honey?
When the cuts don't work. The hint.
And what does that mean? Yeah.
When the hint when to look is when your opponent's liberties are low. So when I say cuts don't work, if I cut right here and my opponent goes right here, I am alive, right? Would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so that cut doesn't work. If I go right here, my opponent goes right here. I try to kill it, and you can't. I try to use it to break in, and you can't. Would you agree that that cut doesn't work?
Yeah, but I won't be able to see it at this stage. Like, I wouldn't. I agree, but I wouldn't. I can't see that far ahead, right, at this point.
Okay, then don't worry about it. If you can't read it, then it doesn't matter. I'm just showing you stuff. If you can apply it, cool. If not, whatever. This double honey is not what is losing you the game. okay, so right. If you can do it, you get another 5-6 points. Cool, but it's not going to cost you the game if you can. Okay. Okay. Don't die. I think you're about to die. Wait, what's wrong with this move? This one you can read. This one is I'm holding you accountable. You missed the ladder. This is drilling the DDK go problems. Sure, it's like, oh, I don't want to do these go problems. They're easy. I'm not learning anything. It's not about learning. It's about drills. You do basic drills to make sure you don't miss this. So remember, past move 70 or usually 100, 70 to 100, your brain starts to turn off. This is what happens when your brain turns off. You miss the very simple moves. This is why we do hundreds of easy go problems. We cannot miss these moves. Oh, fudge. I just messed it up. Okay, there. We cannot miss these moves. It is a huge difference. So this lives 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It dies 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is that? 15 points almost? It's crazy. Crazy difference. Okay, it is now 30 points. You have doubled or tripled the value of that compared to if it was just dead. You lost like 30 points here. Even if you don't know it, just connect your cut and you don't lose 30 points. Yeah, this is... You can't let this happen. This is 30 points or more. Like, I don't know like how else to word it. It's just, it can't happen. You can't lose that. What does this look like? You read something here that scared you.
Okay, so it seems like, yeah, so I think we can agree, like, I am, a lot of my games end with this, either like Atari blindness or some form of like a DDK error.
Mm-hmm.
And, so like, other than like, don't make mistakes, so I'm just trying to repeat what you talked about. It's like, basically if it's a 30-second game, just don't play automatically. Try to, even at my speed, maybe I can at least read 2 or 3 moves ahead. And if you're unsure, just play defensive and fix the cut, basically.
Yes. Because not playing defense can lose you the game. Playing defense might just lose a few points, but it won't lose you the game.
Right.
Okay, so...
Okay.
To...
I think I got... Yeah.
I want to
so
bring this down to 2 points. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to bring this down to just 2 concepts. Okay?
Yeah.
1, do easy go problems. Hundreds of them.
Yeah.
2, take your time. Don't play in 2 seconds, 5 seconds, or whatever. You have 30 seconds. You have an infinite amount of 30 seconds. Every single time you place a stone in 5 seconds, you lose like at least 20 seconds. So how much time do you just burn from playing too fast? So, easy go problems plus slow down equals win.
Okay. And I just let my opponent...
Your opponent can kill themselves.
Dumb stuff.
Like, if you didn't kill yourself, you wouldn't be 7Q or 6Q. Like, I swear, both you and your opponent kill yourselves probably often. Not every single game. It's not every single game, but you do it quite often. So this is probably the only thing you need to master the later half of middle game. So 70 to end game. Move 70 to the end to end game. You only need the double-digit Q moves. The issue is you cannot miss a double-digit Q move, right? That's the big key. It's very easy to miss a DDK move when we are tired. It's very easy, very common. Can you read right now? Tell me if you can read that those 2 stones are going to die.
Oh, yeah. I usually play a few... what do you call it? Like, you know you're going to lose the game, and...
Denial?
Yeah, that's like... So, the game is... I know I'm losing the game, so... sometimes I play for... I pretend we're, like, playing for points. This time I'm just, like... I think I'm just playing a few moves before I resign. I can't remember.
Okay.
So maybe it's... Yeah.
Denial is worse than resignation. Here's why. Here's why. If you stop yourself, before resign, you should stop, reevaluate the board, see if you're more than 40 points behind. If not, then just try to finish the game as best you can, and let your opponent try to keep the victory. They're supposed to win. It's okay. But make them work for it. Just play the best move you can and finish the game. If it's less than 40 points, it's a close game. You made a mistake, your opponent held it, everyone did a good job, and you just need to learn from it, right? But the moment you play moves in denial, you are harming yourself psychologically. That is worse than resignation, because that's going to affect the next game, okay? Resigning just means, okay, I'm done. Denial means I'm going to keep harming myself by dying more. Because denial does not equal good moves. It equals probably worse moves than the mistake. The mistake you made is probably less bad than whatever moves you come up with when you're in denial. Or desperate. Those 2 things. Denial and desperation, the worst moves you can play. And because we are going down a route that we know is not going to end well, we are forcing ourselves to go down a route that is going to harm us more. In other words, I'm kind of like using stronger words than I need to, but psychologically, you are forcing yourself more mental pain on a minor scale by playing out things in denial. It's better to resign. At least then you don't make the mistake worse. Should you resign, I would say no, but try to stop yourself from playing moves in denial or desperation. Try to stop and just take a breath, reevaluate the board. That will really help you handle losses a lot better. And it translates to life too. If you make a mistake in something, it's just good to take a step back, take a breath, reevaluate. If you keep stressing about it and going deeper and deeper, the mistake gets worse and worse and worse. And it just snowballs into a crap ton of stress and nothing productive comes out of it. A lot of times, the best thing to do when you make a mistake is to just stop. Right? You can't undo the mistake. You just need to accept it. It sucks. It hurts. It should hurt. That's how we learn, is from the pain of this hurts. It made a mistake. Learn from it, right? It's how kids work. But it should not be something that you make hurt worse. That is what that stupid rat experiment was, or whatever. What was the stupid experiment where they kept harming themselves for the food? I don't know. There was some stupid experiment where they're just like, okay, this is insanity because you keep harming yourself.
Oh, they kept pushing a button or something.
Yeah, it was, regardless.
For stimulation.
Yeah. They just kept harming themselves, even though like they just need to not harm themselves, right? Learning from the pain is different than causing more pain.
Okay, so just to try and rephrase, so if I make a, let's say, big error, my options are to play, like, either I play for points or, like, I still play the best move, either for points or for hoping for the opponent to make an error, but only if I am in the right mindset. When you make
a mistake, I want you to think of the big red stop sign. Mistake equals stop. Okay.
Does that mean resign or stop?
No, stop. Take your hand off the mouse. Like, hit the brakes. Let's hold on. Before we do anything else, let's stop. Okay. Yeah. Then I just want you to reevaluate. Take a breath, reevaluate the board. Okay. Sometimes it's not as bad as it looks. Okay.
Yeah.
If it is more than 40 points, just accept it and resign. If it is less than 40 points, finish the game. You should lose, but it's up to your opponent to win. You just do the best you can, finish the game, because a lot of the times your opponent will give you a chance to make a comeback. If it's less than 40 points, I don't know, once every few games, you will get a chance to make a comeback. That increases your win rate by a not insignificant percentage, like maybe 5 to 10%. So just be able to calm yourself down and finish a close game. 40 points is close. Can increase your win percent. No, 40 points is close. Like, it's single digit Q, 40 points is close. At Dawn level, 15 points to 20 points is close, because one mistake changes that. You will increase your win percentage by maybe 5%, 10%. It's a theoretical 5 to 10%. I don't actually know the math, but a lot of the times just finishing strongly, making your opponent work for it, will change the result of some of the games. Not every game your opponent is supposed to win. That's okay. But a lot of the times, you'll find it really surprising how much they'll throw away a victory. There's a book called How to Win a One Game. This is because keeping the victory, you can be in a winning position, but keeping it to the very end of the game can be tricky. And a lot of times what will happen, and I've seen as one example, someone will be in a winning position, and they'll play a ton of passive moves trying to not lose their winning position. But every single passive move costs them like 5 points, because they'll play something 0 points, their opponent will play 5 points. They'll play something 0 points, their opponent will play 5 points. And all of a sudden, that 30-point mistake is immediately made up for because you've made 6 slow moves. You played 6 passive moves. You're like, I don't want to lose, but that also means I don't want to win. Right? Playing 6 passive moves is probably equal to a giant mistake. How to win a one game is a whole thing that you have to learn as well. So finishing a game, if it's close, teaches your opponent. It forces your opponent to know how to do that, and it teaches you to just be more patient and accept like a learning opportunity.
Right. So just concretely, it's if I think the game is less than 40 points, it's still worth playing to counting.
Yes.
And just just playing the best move you can.
Right.
After you take after the mistake, you reevaluate.
Right. If you're on tilt, just resign. Don't play on tilt.
Okay.
Tilt is kind of like denial. It'll just make
Right.
it'll just make the pain worse. Ideally, you'll just take a breath and finish the game. But if you are on tilt, it's okay. Like, you just got to accept sometimes your brain is going to do things you don't want them to do. Okay.
Right.
Resign,
Cool.
take a break. Like, take a break,
Got it.
don't look at go. And just take like a 30-minute hour break, do something else. Get your mind off of it. Aside from tilt, yeah, just finish the game. Try to finish it calmly. Take a breath, yada, yada, yada. There's lots of good psychological benefit from being able to calm yourself down after a mistake. There's a lot of good habits that come from that, and it'll really show itself in like very important games sometimes, that habit of stopping or evaluating. A lot of the times it'll make it not that bad, because denial doubles the value of a mistake. Just look at this. This is a good example. Here, you made a mistake, right? You missed the ladder.
Yeah.
Let's stop and reevaluate. Okay, let's just fix this. Let's go here, fix it. Okay, that's how much I have. You go here, and then denial kicks in. Okay, I actually thought you were going to lose this, but okay, yeah. Denial kicks in, and now you've doubled the value. This is very, very common. A lot of the times, the mistake isn't nearly as big as you think it is, but in your experience, the value is unimaginable or unplayable because you are constantly doubling the value. And it's not just you, it's like everyone. Everyone constantly doubles the value because they play out the mistake. Like, you've made a mistake, and instead of stopping, you just finish the variation. The human brain wants to finish things, so you just finish this bad variation. That finish mentality or that habit doubles the value of the mistake. So the mistake feels like, oh, it's this huge, unbearable mistake. But actually, by continuing it, you made it double the value. So that's why it feels like a giant mistake. It's actually not as bad as you think it is. So let's see.
Yeah.
Right here, let's do the score estimator. 14 points for block. Okay. Now let's go make the mistake. Yada, yada. Crap. Mistakes happen. Estimate score. Okay, so 25 points, let's just say. I'm going to round it to a 5 interval, so 25. Okay, so 37.9.
Yeah.
Now let's play here. Okay, now what is it? 49. Okay, so you've taken a 25-point mistake and made it, let's say, a 35-point mistake. This is just a rounded number. So not quite double, but you can see, like, you made a bearable mistake of 25 points into an almost unbearable, because 40 points is like unbearable. Almost an unbearable mistake.
Yeah.
And now, instead of it being a game that you could finish, it's a game you have to resign because you passed 40. It was 37, you could have finished it. Now it's past 40, so now you have to resign. Big difference. Big difference. Did you know if you can just start in-game and just play your best and just play good Sente in-game, it's worth 20 points? You can gain 20 points.
In theory, but in practice, I am not a Dawn level endgame player.
No. If you could play in-game like a Dawn level, you could gain 40 points. I am being humble about how much you gain in in-game. Because I understand, realistically, you cannot play Dawn level in-game.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if you just play it at a good timing and play good single-digit Q in-game, it's worth 20 points. You gain 20 points by doing it.
Right.
If a Dawn player came in and tried to play the end game, they could gain 40 against a 6Q. So I am actually being generous with the end game. You
Oh
can
wow.
you can gain a lot more than you think you can, because if you play the Senta in game, you gain like 2 points every single time you do it. If you can find 10, that's 20 points. Not to mention,
Yeah.
if you can start learning endgame Tetsuchi stuff, which is like, don't worry about that right now. My point is, just by starting endgame and keeping Sentei as long as you can, just learning how to do that and doing it every single time you get to endgame, your game improves
Okay.
20 points. Literally 20 points. Not even like being like super crazy about it or optimistic. I guarantee you, you gain 20 points. Now, here's the caveat: is if you find the Sentei and get distracted, then you don't gain the 20 points. If you find Sentei and your opponent does something wrong, but you respond to it and you forget to finish all the Sentei, you don't gain those 20 points. So to improve at that, you actually do what you're already doing. You do your game reviews. You review the game and you say, okay, when did I lose my Sentei? And when you lose Sentei, when you played a Gote move, you want to look around the board. Did I miss any Sentei? And a lot of times you'll miss like 3 1-point Sentei moves. But that matters. That adds up. 3 points
Right.
here, 3 points here, 3 points here. You're already over 10, or almost the 10. Right? So whenever you review your game, if you want to improve your end game, spend like 2-3 minutes, just look at the end game, go through it, and just look for where did I lose Sentei. Let's see. This one
Okay.
is. I'm going to go to a 3.5. Yeah, here we go. Let's go through the last, I don't know, 50 to 100 moves. Let's go to 150-ish. Okay. So this is actually the later stages of, we're getting into the later stages of endgame. You are black. Okay. Let's get to a point where you have Sentei and not dying. Okay. Not dying, not dying. Looking for Sentei, looking for Sentei. Okay, okay. Yep. Not. Oh, this is actually a chance. It's only 2 stones, right? So let's see. The worst that can happen is white goes here, Atari's, and connects, and I block. Okay, so this is 5 points. Not even, because white had to sacrifice a stone. So let's say 3 points. Okay, so chance. Let's see how many Sentei moves there are. That's 15 points right there. I don't know if you know this, but that is a 15-point endgame move. Actually, I think it's 18 points. 15 to 18 points.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's 15 to 18 points Sentei move. This is a textbook example of why endgame is big. This is actually an example that they use in endgame. This is a 15-point move. I think it's 18, but I rounded to 15 to make it easy to remember. But I think it's literally like 18 points. How could it be 18 points?
Yeah. Wait.
All right.
Can't you? Oh, it's because okay. So you clamp it otherwise if there's no 7. So that's the Sentei reason, right?
Kind of Sentei, yeah. But here, let's look at white gets 1, 2 points here. Okay,
Yeah.
and black has 6, 7, 8, 9 because white can take that away. Now let's look at white plays. Okay, so now it's 5, maybe 6, and white got an additional 1. Okay, so that's 7 points for white in Sentei. So you could immediately just double 14, but you actually can take it a step further and count the value of the follow-up. So what you do with the follow-up is you do the exact same thing, but you divide it by 2. So the follow-up here, if black ignores, is here. So black has 1 point instead of 5, so you lose 4. White gains 1, 2, 3, 4 in Gote, so it is 8 points. You divide it by 2, so 4. And then we had, what was this? We lost, I already forgot. 7. It was 7 plus 4, so 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're at 11 points. and then we take the next value of 2. Divided by 2 is 1, but it's Sente, so double it 2, but it's a follow-up with a follow-up, so you divide it by 1 is 1. So we're at 14. And then you have to do the same thing. If white ignores, then how much is this? And then follow-up, 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 and you keep dividing it by 2. Every time there's a Tanuki, you divide the value by 2, and it adds up to like 18, I believe. So here...
Is this considered one of those... Wait, so... I don't think I know the divide by 2 stuff, but I just know, like, if there's double Sente, it's really important to take.
Okay, so...
And if there's Sente, you should also take it. And then...
What I just did was the exact value, and even then, it's not the perfect mathematical value, but it's the closest a human can get that's not a college math professor level, PhD math having genius. That's the closest I can get to the exact value is the divide by half strategy. In practice, you don't really do that because it's not super time efficient. If it's a shape that you see a lot, like this one is a shape that you see a lot, so you can just do it outside of the game. You can spend the time, learn it, and just memorize that it's like 15 to 18 points. So now I just know. But in the game, it's not usually patterns that you'll just be able to recognize instantly. So what I do is, what does black lose if white plays first? What does white lose if black plays first? I add those together. Okay? So maybe it's 2 and 2, so I add it to 4. If it's Sente, I double it. If it's double Sente, I double it again. So 4 points Gote, 8 points Sente, 16 points double Sente. Now, when I say 16 points, I am saying the weight of the move is 16 points. Does not mean it'll actually be a literal 16 points. It is the Sente weight is 16 points.
It's just when you're ranking like which move to play first in your head.
Yes, exactly.
That's like those kinds of points. Like
right.
I see. Okay.
Don't think about it beyond that unless you really want to dive into the advanced mathematics. That is the shortcut method.
Got it. Okay.
So yes, at that move right there that we just talked about. Let's see, we're going back over here. That's because I didn't get to it yet. The bottom right when I could have ignored. Right here. Yeah, this one is already a lot of points. So even if we want to take the literal...
More than saving. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was what, 3? 3 points?
Right.
We could say it's a Sente weight of 6 because it was Sente, right? Yeah, it was Sente, so we'll say it's a weight of 6. But if I go right here, literally white gets 5 for 2. Okay, so it's literal 3 points. But if I go here, I get a literal... so you have 1, 2, 3 maybe. I get a literal 4 points. So already a literal value greater than this one. Additionally, I'm threatening another literal value of like 4 points. So I've gained 4 points cash, threatening another 4 to 5 points.
Mm-hmm.
So already you're seeing like in-game wise, Sente moves are adding up very fast. They're huge. Okay, so there's a Sente move. There's a Sente, which threatens 3 points. So already it's threatening more. This is kind of... this one's definitely Sente. Holy crap. That's a super Sente. That is huge. Okay, so... yeah, this one's super Sente. And you get potentially 4 points in Gote, so I'd say it's at least 2 points. But you take away a move here. If white defends that, white gets a point. Okay, so that one's super Sente as well. That one is Sente as well.
When you say super Sente,
it's not ignorable.
Double Sente?
No, it's just it's super Sente. Okay. Basically, you cannot ignore this or you lose the game.
Okay.
So not quite a literal lose the game, but in my mind, I'm like, this is absolutely going to be responded to. In my mind, super Sente means I don't have to worry about this move being ignored. Okay, so Sente, 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 Sente. That is dead. Sente, there's a free point to take away in Sente. Sente. Probably Sentei, I believe. I would double check that one, but yeah, that one's probably Sentei. Already, you can find this many triangles you could have gotten. All right, so let's say each one's worth 2 points. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 points right there. You immediately improve your game 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's find a more obviously Gote one. What is happening? Did you just get tricked? Okay, falling for tricks is worth more than any in-game strategy can get you. Don't fall for tricks. Okay, so let's look for Sentei. All right, you have Sentei right now. Okay, let's see when you lose it. I don't know why white responded. Okay. Gote. This one's Gote, right? You cannot cut that. Okay, so let's find how many Sentei moves you missed. 1, because that one threatens to... Actually, no, that's Gote 2 because that's a capture X. Haha, I'm stupid. There. That one's Gote. That one is Gote. Here we go, there's 1. There's 2.
Wait, what makes G19 Sentei? Can't wait ignore one move.
That one?
The G19 triangle. Like, what's
What?
my follow-up?
What?
Or do I just get to push
This is
one more
not
time?
a triangle. This is G19, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that's Sentei. That's why I don't have a triangle.
Okay, we agree. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I wanted it to be, but I didn't put a triangle there because it's Gote. Okay. I want to say this is Sentei. I hope. I want to say it's Sentei. So maybe if I do D1 and then H4, I should be able to get both. Okay. And then maybe I can get that one. And this is where we start getting the maybe territory. You're trying to get as many triangles as you can, basically. So even just this would be another 8 points. Versus you got 1 point, not even. Yeah, this isn't even a point. Because this can be turned into a false eye. And then you always could have blocked right here. So you've gained literally 0 points in Gote. Wait, are you gonna die? You're not gonna die. Why are you fixing? Yeah. Just doing this exercise at the end of your game. Don't stress like we're doing. I would say just spend 5 minutes and look for a couple moves. Because if you stress about it, it's not time efficient. If you had 8 hours a day, sure, do it. But if you don't have 8 hours a day, just spend like 5 minutes looking for better in-game moves. Just doing that in the review will make you do it in the game. And when you do it in the game, if you can just find as many triangles as you can, then you'll gain like 2 points here, 2 points here, 2 points here, and it'll add up and easily be able to get to 20. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Also, little things like this, where do I fix in Dame or do I fix while gaining 2 points? Like, little things like this add up a lot more than you think they do. That's already 2 points right there. And nothing has changed Sentei-wise. Yeah, just little... You'd be surprised. There's like 20 points at least. This is why I said Dom players could gain 40. All right, you got Sentei again. Let's see. That is Gote. It's immediately Gote. Go here. Go here. Actually, no. Maybe go here first. So, again, you're looking for the triangles. Fudge. I just hit the freaking wrong button again. Okay, so yeah, this one, white is connected up here. It's Gote. Actually, is white going to die? I don't think so. But even if white respawns right here, you could have taken a point, so you lost a point. Why? Okay, whatever. I don't care. This is why you lose a lot of points in a game. Okay, okay. Sentei's... It doesn't... What about that? That doesn't block. Feels important. Okay, so
This is my opponent's turn to make DDK errors, but I
yeah,
need to
yeah,
capitalize. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. This is why you be patient. This is why you finish the game if it's less than 40. Feels important. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. It's not as bad as I thought. I thought white is making the mistake worse, but it's not. That is Gote. Because white, you only have 2 liberties. This is literally 1 point in Gote. Okay, those are good. Those are good. That's good. That one's good too. That one's good. That one's Gote. So 1 point Gote. How many did you miss? Let's go around. Definitely that one, but that one's Gote too, technically. Looks like you might be out. This one's the same value as that one. Okay. Okay, if you're out of Sente, you're out of Sente. I can't do much about that. Then yeah, take that Gote move. Take the big Gote if you're out of Sente. Seriously? Not quite a go problem. Almost a go problem, but not quite. Ah, this is 1 point. You don't get. You can ignore that. If white takes, white gets 2 stones. You take back. You get 1 stone. So it's 1 point in Sente. So it's a weight value of 2, but a literal 1 point. So it's very Gote. So that's a good chance move. Many people do this.
To retake Sente here.
Yeah. So this is worth more. Yeah, there's a lot of Sente opportunities you can find. There's another point lost. Yeah, just taking your time in the end game. Be surprised. Hey, you found it. Wait, did you just chicken move? Chicken moves, I swear, lose like single-digit Qs like 5 points every single game. Let's check. I don't... Whatever. Dude. How could you possibly lose this? How could this possibly be anything if it's 3 liberties, 2 liberties? Even if those didn't exist, it's still that.
I don't have to connect there anyways in the long run. Like,
yeah.
Like, I have to play R19 anyways at some point.
Okay, but you don't have to yet.
Okay.
There's this move, so that's at least 1 point. That's Dame. Are we really out of moves? That'd be crazy.
Okay, but I could have got 1 more point.
You could have got 1 more point, yeah. Yeah. Looks like that's about it, but still. 1 point. What? Yeah. Okay, sorry. White has to do that. Yeah. Yeah, 1 point is 1 point, though. Like, that's 1/20th of what you need. So, yeah, you'd be amazed how many points you lose in endgame. This is why 40 points is a close game. Okay, we are low on time, so let's wrap up our notes. At the end of opening and start of middle game, you make a lot of weak groups. This is not the Tanuki timing. It's okay to spend an extra move to not worry about this group in the future. There are other nothing moves that can be ignored. Defense first. You are ignoring a lot of weakness and cutting points. Just take your time to play defense and be patient for the big moves. As we saw, you lose more than the big move is worth when you don't defend. So just defend. In
Yeah.
the end game, actually no, let's do the second half of middle game. You need your DDK basics. If you take your time and play calm, you will find your opponent making DDK mistakes, and you will prevent yours. Do hundreds of easy problems to assist with this part of the game. In the to improve your end game by 20 points, take 5 minutes after each game that made it to counting to find 2 to 3 gote moves. Then for each one, find as many triangle sente moves. Triangles as you can. Do you have any questions?
No, this is. I feel like I've got it hammered into me now. So this is some good real talk. Yeah.
Awesome. Try to, since we have 3 or 4 different points, try to play 10 games for each concept.
I see what you're saying. Okay, so don't do everything at once.
Yeah, well, you can try, but don't expect yourself to be able to do all of it in the same time. Like, you're going to drop one. This is learning how to juggle, right? You're trying to learn how to juggle 3 new concepts. You should try to do all 3 of them, but don't be upset if you drop one. That's part of the learning process. And then you review. Which one did you drop and why? What did you think about? What did you miss? What were you distracted by? Whatever. A lot of the times it's just self-analysis. But don't be like too hard on yourself if you drop one. It's learning to juggle. You're going to drop some like balls while you're learning. But yeah, you do want to probably take about 20 to 30 games to try to get all of these at the same time. Don't forget that if you find yourself in a position where you, like you said at the start of the lesson, you did a lot of nobies, but you didn't know when to stop. If you have questions like that, try to save some SGFs for us to look at. You can also ask in the Discord. Like, if it's something you think is a simple answer, ask in the Discord or something. But if you say, I don't know how to do this thing, then that's a great thing to bring to a lesson. Because then we can break it down.
Okay, yeah, that sounds way more useful.
Okay. Yeah. Anything that I need to elaborate on or explain before the end of the lesson?
No, it's been really helpful. I've been still kind of stuck, and I definitely went on tilt for one session where I lost like 5 games in a row in a day. So this probably was from
once you recognize you're on tilt. Yeah. It's hard, but make yourself stop. Like tilt, for some reason, we want to play more. Like we want to fix the bad. No, just as soon as you notice you're on tilt, you're like, okay, I'm not gonna be able to play at this level. Tilt makes you like 3 ranks, 4 ranks weaker. Just stop, take a break, get your mind off, watch TV. Don't think about it. There is nothing to learn from tilt. Just take a break. Okay. Right. Anything else?
No, this has been great. Thanks, Sean.
Okay, awesome. Hopefully you found it helpful, and I will see you when I see you.
Yeah.
I almost hit the stop streaming button to end the call. No, that would have been the wrong button. For those interested, I do have a lesson bundle going on. If you would like lessons like the one you just saw, you can buy a bundle pack of lessons of 6 lessons or 12 lessons, and they're at a discounted rate right now to raise funds for the Go tournament in a week and a half. So if you are interested in getting a lesson like the one you just saw, by the way, the lessons are 1 hour apiece. Some students, like the one today, spend 2 lessons at a time to get 2 hours to have a longer dedicated session to explain stuff and go through stuff. You can use your lessons like that as well if you would like, but just wanted to make sure that you understand that those are 2 lessons, not 1 lesson. But yeah, if you have any questions about lessons or anything, let me know. If you're wondering where to do Go problems, you can do those at sumegodragon.com. With that, that's pretty much all I had planned for today. So let's see who else is streaming. And if you have any questions, ask them in the next 60 seconds. That is not English. Okay, looks like this one should be in English. It's very quiet. Yeah. What was the OGS update about? So we can actually talk about that for a second. Okay, so the OGS update. This was making sure that the rule sets can accept draws, because some rule sets do accept them. So getting all the math in order, basically, to make sure it can handle that. This one is my favorite. Ranked games are now allowed beyond 9 ranks. So this is awesome. Why is this awesome? Because Dawn players will be able to play more people, for one. And for two, it'll let beginners play the beginner bots instead of just jumping in and losing to 12 Q bots. Because before, if you joined... yeah, before, if you joined as a new player, you could not play the 25 Q bot. It would not let you. Because it would be a rated game. You wouldn't know to turn the rank off. You didn't know that. And you can't play a rank greater than 9 ranks weaker than you. And it starts you as a 12 Q. Because most people that join are already Go players. So it wasn't a great system. But this will allow new players to play beginner bots while keeping the same thing for experienced players that want to join, being able to quickly get to their rank rather than starting them at 25Q. I believe so, yes. You should be able to play Dons. My expectation, I haven't tested this, I just read it today. My expectation is that I can now play... oh, why? I want to play way more than this. I was going to set it to like 15. My expectation was I could hit this button and now have more opponents, but I guess not. Whatever. I was hoping to apply to this button, but I guess it does not. It only applies to this. Ranked, handicap, automatic, and it looks like it goes to 36. Wait, what? Why won't it let... I don't know how to do it. I guess it's only for direct challenges. Or bots. Maybe it's just for bots. Okay, maybe not as good as I thought it was. Thank you for the follow. I was hoping I would get more opponents, but maybe not. They improved the handicap and Comey for small boards, which is also good for beginners. So yeah, just lots of little improvements. Probably for the average person, it's not going to affect you too much. But for the extreme cases, it helps. What? What do you mean you got up to... I got up to 9 done. I don't know what you mean. Top game? Oh, hey, I can accept your challenge. What is this? What is this exclamation mark? Give me explanation. Handicap 9. Is it automatic handicap? No, set it to automatic. I want to see. Set it to automatic. I want to see if it will give me the button. Okay, now if I click accept, auto handicap. I'm not going to actually play you, but I want to see what happens. Boo! Do you get multiple... Try playing. Try playing. Do you get multiple moves in a row? Handicap 9. Nope. Ah, that's dumb. But at least I could accept it. I guess I could sandbag some DDKs. Just promote my rank. Because I can't give more than 9 stones to a DDK, then it doesn't matter. It didn't do anything. Okay, so the only thing is... the only value is new players can challenge bots. I think that's all the value that That's interesting. I was hoping it was not that. I thought it was more than what it was. Clearly. Yeah, DDKs can challenge Dawn players to rank games because that is going to do anything. It would be better if I could give like a 20Q, like 25 stones. Yeah, if I could give like 20-something stone handicap, sure, that'd be great. At least then I could have a bigger pool of players. But I don't see myself losing to a DDK with 9 stones. Maybe. Yeah, so basically, new players can challenge 23Q bots. That's it. Which is great. Like, it's really good for new players. It just doesn't affect me. I was hoping I would get a bigger player pool. That is unfortunate. That is unfortunate. I was really hoping I could play more people. Oh, well. Live and learn. Maybe someday. Maybe someday I'll have opponents on OGS. Okay, well, hopefully everyone enjoyed the stream today. And with that, let's go ahead and wrap up the stream and send you to Self-Atari.